So this is the second video that we've got for the exam in January 2013, and we got it to the point where we're doing the table offset, and I'm going to leave package price for a second because package price is dependent on this one here. So at best, the thing that we're going to have to type is equals teams H4 like that, and then push that downwards. So in fact, I'll just put that in there now, but we're actually going to have to work out a package price a bit later. But just for for argument's sake, we'll put that in there just to keep it ready, so that as soon as you choose a package price, it'll go in from the team sheet and into there. I then need to work out a percentage reduction based on the cost. So I need to work out that if this package price goes above a certain amount, then there will be a percentage reduction based on this. Now, I want it in percentage terms, I think. I want it as a number, so the number, I imagine, either has to be between 0 and 1, or if I wanted to do it on my old 100% scale, I could do it from 0 to 100. So either one will be absolutely fine, I imagine, for the model, but a percentage reduction based on the cost. So I want to say, if this package price is greater than £100, then only 70% of supporters are actually going to come, because that's a bit too much money. If it's over £150, only 20% are going to come. And I've made up those figures, but I imagine in the exam they're going to give you, as part of the booklet, some of those figures. So let's have a go. Equals, if it's greater than a certain amount. So let's go and select the cell. I've opened the bracket. I've got the logical test up. I've got the commas ready for the value of true, value of false. And we'll say if it's that one is greater than, make sure you get your signs the right way around, so the greater than starts off big, goes less than, so greater than £70. If it's greater than 70, then value of true, I want only, what would we say, only 70% of the supporters are going to come. So I say that it's 30% reduced. 100 minus 70 is 30. If it's false, if it's less than 70, then all 100% are going to come, so there's going to be no reduction at all. That's the first formula. So there you can tell that because the package price is 0, it's not working at all there, so it's 0, so there's no percentage reduction. But if I go back into Teams and I say the package price is £70, no, £71, it's slightly over. Go back into Customer, it's over £70, so the percentage reduction is 30%, as we've said in the formula. I also wanted to say, though, that if it's over £120, then I want even less reduction. So let's try and work this through in our head. If we've got, if G3 is greater than, if it's greater than 70, then I want a 30% reduction. But actually I want to say, if it's also greater than 120, then I want even more reduction here. So actually, in this true bit, I'm going to say, if G3 is greater than 70, then it's true. But in here, I'm going to put if G3 is greater than 120. So I've got I've got a nested if here. I've got two if statements. If G3 is greater than 120, then I only want a 50% reduction there. So it's so much that only 50% of the supporters are going to come. Otherwise, well, I'll say what happened was false. Well, 30 again there. So if G3 is greater than 70, but it's not greater than 120, I want to put that original 30. And have a look back about a minute and a half for the video behind if you didn't get the 30 bit there. So if G3 is greater than 70, then check if it's greater than 120. If it is, 50% reduction. Otherwise, it's only greater than 70, 30% reduction. And I've closed it off as well. I've used the brackets to say that's the end. Otherwise it's 0, so I've kept all the same stuff there. I've just used this nested if in the middle there. Just nested it inside the true bit. Press enter. There you go. Let's put it up as high as I can. £150. That is definitely above 120. Customer sheet, well, 50% reduction there. And if I go back to £5, very, very cheap package price, 0% reduction. All of the supporters are going to pay £5 to go and see this game. That's absolutely fantastic. Unless, of course, they're playing, I don't know, Liverpool or Arsenal. I wouldn't pay anything to see them. Let's have a look. Package price, let's put that back up to £60. Customer, there you go. 0 again because it's under 70. Let's go for £90, which is greater than 70, but it's less than 120. So, yep, that goes into the 30 bit there. And it's getting that idea of that formula and how nested ifs work. Once you've sorted that, you can change the numbers to whatever it's going to be in the exam. There may even be more nested ifs inside there. There may be another nested if in that one. We just don't know. So, nest as many ifs as possible, depending on how many they ask you to do. So let's copy that down. Yep, those are all zeros as expected. That's how we wanted it to be. Good, so there is a 30% reduction if the package price is high. And at this point, I need to change the support, so the amount of people adjusted for the package price. So I want to say if that number minus this 30%, so here goes, so equals that number, the support adjusted by class, and we're going to keep adjusting it, so, support adjusted for package price of that, divided by 100, minus, and then I want to take 30% of it. No, I don't. Do I want to times that? I want to times that together, times, well, not just 30%. So I want to, if I times it by 30%, what happens? I've got 4,400. So it's gone down quite a bit there, hasn't it? Does that look like the right formula? Well, actually, that's not the right formula, because that's not reducing it by 30%. That's saying I just want 30%. So I want 70% of the value. So it's reduced by 30%. So actually what I want is 100 minus H3. And that's a really difficult concept, I think, in terms of maths. So I want to divide it by 100, and I want to times it by whatever's left of 100 minus this number. And that gives us 10,274 fans, which is 70% of this, which is what I want, because I want to reduce this by 30%. So actually what I want to do is times it by 70%. So I want to go 100 minus 30. If you don't understand that bit, worth having a chat with other people in your class, also worth coming to see me about this bit of the formula, because I think that's the bit that a lot of people get stuck on every year, is working out percentage reductions. There are other ways of doing this formula. You may come across a much easier way yourself, but to me, if you're divided by 100 and then you times in by 100 minus whatever that one is, that 30, then you're going to get the answer. If I copy that one down, I know it's working there. I've got a 0 in this one, which is what I wanted because they can't play themselves. And I've got a lot of other figures here, which at the moment are all the same there. But if I change the package prices and do those for different prices, this will also change here. So I've got these working. That bit, again, either learn the formula by rote so you understand what it is or how it works, or come and see me and I'll explain it in a much easier way, maybe on a whiteboard using some interactive stuff. So there's that one. Percentage reduction, again, based on the travel time, is the same sort of formula as this one where we've got the nested if. I imagine it's going to be something like equals if that one is greater than if the travel time is bigger than, I don't know, 100 miles. That's from Bristol to, I don't know, just a bit further than Cardiff. If it's greater than 100 miles, then only 70% of people are going to come. So I want to reduce it by 30% again, or maybe actually more people will come than that. Maybe 80% of people will come. So I want to reduce it by 20%. Otherwise, everyone's going to come because it's less than 100 miles away. There you go. I could nest it if, again, then do another equals if J3 is greater than 200 miles. Nobody's going to come at all. Or maybe 10% of all the really die-hard fans, the ones that paint their face and bang the drums and that sort of stuff. Maybe they would come. So maybe you'd have a little nested if in there. If J3 is greater than 200, then only 10% of people are going to come. So, I don't know. There you go, reduce it by 90%. Otherwise, we're going to keep it at 30%. There you go, so 30% reduced, 70% people coming. Press enter. At the moment I've got zeros here. Let's copy them down. You can see, when it gets to 200 miles away, it's ages. 90% of people are not going to come, so I'm reducing it by that amount. This adjusted reduction bit, this one here, we're not at a loss, but we've got some ideas of what that could be. I think in the exam they're going to ask you to adjust some other things. Maybe it's bad weather in a winter time or something. Maybe they're going to say at a certain time there's going to be an adjusted reduction of an extra 10% of people just because of financial issues or something. There's going to be something there, and they're going to ask you to go equals whatever that is, or whatever this one is here, the support adjusted, also minus 10% on there. So they're going to either put in a whole number or they're going to ask you to do a bit of calculations on this one. At the moment, I'm just going to keep that all as 0. There you go. But actually, in the exam, they're going to give you a random number or something there just to adjust it by as well, just to make sure that your formulas are all working. So the support, maybe it could actually just be a whole number. 500 fans just aren't going to come, so you type in 500 in there. So the support adjusted is this one equals that one, divided by 100 again, and do the whole times by, and hopefully you're getting this now, 100 minus that number. There you go. Make sure you put the stuff in brackets. Brackets are notoriously difficult in spreadsheets to work out, but bracket that bit, that divided by 100, times by that 100 minus K3. See if that works. Yep. Copy it downwards. Oh, we've lost a lot of fans here, haven't we, in some of these, but definitely only 930 fans coming at that point, so not a huge amount. We've got our support adjusted, so that's all working. Now if I go back to the team sheet, you can see, oh, we're losing money, we haven't got any money. But that said, we have got some money here because I put in a package price. So if I start putting in package prices, package price £60, I don't know, I'm making lots and lots of money here, and then not so much money on some of the others. But you know, overall, I imagine I'm eventually going to make some money. There. Oh, yep, some money. I'm just typing in some random values just to get the sheet started. I've made £1.2 million. Retired, all done, all sorted, very, very happy. Obviously, that's not how you approach the package price, but that has got this sheet sorted, apart from that one, which we're going to do in the exam. And I think that's it for those. Yep, we've got some total cost of transport there, which we've got to sort. So there's one more here. There's this cell to sort, this column to sort out, actually. Any more? Nothing there. That one's all sorted. That one's all sorted. That one's all sorted. Yep. Oh, yep. Great. So actually, the only two bits that we have to work out are this total cost of transport and this package price. Now I'm going to do that in a separate video because I'm going to explain a bit more about how to use certain Excel functions to do this bit, and also what this could mean, and maybe I'll go back and explain a bit more about this adjusted reduction as well. But other than that, you've learnt the idea of what the data side is going to be in the spreadsheet. Good stuff.